Giving all praise to Yahweh, Shalom to the hopefully elect out there. 6:06 a.m. Today's date is January 24th, 2023. Hopeful year that all prophecies come to pass. Meaning that we're out of here this year. That we pray that we're out of here this year. Not 2024. But we could go as far as 2024. But we know we're at the end. How do we know that we're at the end? Because we keep our eyes on the prophecies. You watch the news, you watch events around the world. And currently, there's a war. Actually, there's a world war. We're in a world war. We're in the Third World War. The destruction, the Lord coming back is going to be the ending of the Third World War. Because NATO is fighting against Russia, not Ukraine. If Ukraine didn't have any backup from NATO or the U.S., they would have been taken over a long time ago. They would have sat down for peace talks, you know. What's the term? They would have sat down to have a meeting for surrender. The only reason why the Ukraine is still standing, but it's getting demolished, is because of the U.S. and NATO, which is the beast. So the beast is already fighting Russia, which proves that Russia is not a part of the beast. As Bishop Nathaniel teaches, when you go into the seven heads, he says one of them is Russia. Absolutely wrong. You want to get the proper breakdown? There was a video that was just put up yesterday by Elder Yashawam out of the GMS Dallas camp, that he goes into the seven heads, and then he even goes into the 10 horns, the original 10 horns. Which I had an actual list of the actual 10 horns, but he mentioned all of them, so he did a study. Some things, if you hit me with a question, you might say, well, what does Daniel 11 verse 25 mean? I got to read it and look it up. That's a hard breakdown. You need a lot of dates. You need a lot of other people besides the central character. There's a lot of twists and turns when you go into the book of Daniel, the 11th chapter. That's why it was never taught in One West, because truth be told, the leadership of One West, the seven, they didn't know what it meant. That's why High Priest Arion never went into it. He never touched it. I'm talking about Daniel chapter 11. And Second Ezra's 11 and Second Ezra's 12, we had a meeting on it trying to figure out what it represented, so they didn't know this breakdown. Guess who broke it down? The leadership of GMS. We broke down Second Ezra's chapter 11, Second Ezra's chapter 12, Daniel 11, and the rest of the breakdown you know. So that proves that we have to be the prophets. And you got a lot of fake prophets out there. You got a lot of guys that just popped up out of this, 2 years ago, and all of a sudden they're over us. We've been in this thing, I'm going on 40 years. There's a lot of stumbling blocks out there, man. And you're going to, like I said, when they set up the Charagma stations, a lot of you guys are going to bug out. You're going to bug the hell out, man. You're going to question shit. You're going to question your leaders. You're going to question whether GMS was correct. Anyway, I'm going to title this video, Palex Bones Knows More Than Most Israelites. Palex Bones knows more than most Israelites. And if you're teaching that Sirach or Ecclesiasticus 27, 1 and 2 is talking about the MOTB, you're fucking stupid. And you don't know the scriptures. And you should stay your ass home. But it's gonna be a reckoning. It's gonna come down to the wire where all these prophecies are gonna fully come to pass. Revelation 13, 16. When that actually comes to pass, and it has already come to pass. The technology is already here. It's just a matter of getting the whole world, meaning the majority of the world, meaning 95% of the world, in the oikoumene sense, to accept it. And like I said, you guys that are blindly following your leaders, you're gonna bug that. You're not gonna know where to turn. You're gonna ask your leaders concerning what do we do, and he's gonna be bugged out because he's not gonna know what to do. We're coming down to the wire right now. You see this past year, they said there was some reports said it was over 300, but the report that I heard was it was 500. Then it was 510. That there was 510 official sightings from the government, the military. 510 official sightings of UAPs or UFOs, so you can understand. And guess what? What they used to say was, well, that's the technology of the Germans or that's the Russian technology. Well, wait a minute, man. Wouldn't they confirm it and say, yep, it is, because one of them crashed and it has a Russian writing on it. It ain't no fucking Russian technology, man. And if it is, that means they got technology over you because you didn't try to shoot them down. You can't. Those are the angels, my friend. Those are the angelic forces that are coming to invade your world. I had to get that from Lahab. When you see the ships, Richard, inside joke, the Most High is just playing with you. He's spying out the land. Scripture said, and they may enter into the house of the thief. Zechariah, the 5th chapter. This is the curse that goeth throughout the whole planet Earth, and that it may enter into the house of the thief. The house of the thief represent anywhere Esau is, but the actual house, the headquarters is America. That's why Europe is not going to be totally destroyed. It's going to get jacked up, but this place, America, Babylon the Great, is going to be utterly destroyed by fire, utterly destroyed. It's going to be the biggest desert on the planet Earth. And it's going to be as the movie The Planet of the Apes, the original, which is the best one that came out. The original one with Charlton Heston, with his non-acting ass. The apes, so to speak, they call that area the forbidden zone. So the U.S. is going to be the forbidden zone. Nobody's. If you first of all, ain't nobody going over there. You other nation, you're going to be busy in the fields. You're going to be working. You're going to be slaves. And Israelites are not going to go over there, but we can fly over it, and our ships and our chariots in the coming kingdom will be flying chariots, and we will be extraterrestrials. We will be supermen and superwomen and super children and super babies. So I open it with Palex Bones. If you don't have Odyssey, you should go on Odyssey. And this is one of his latest videos that was put up. I was watching it earlier. I believe it was put up either earlier today. No, it was today. Okay. So it says the globalist C power grab is now officially dead. Learn what what comes next. Monday full show 123:23. Yeah, you watch this. You watch this whole thing. Well, I kind of fell asleep in the middle of it, so I kind of watched about an hour and a half of it. But he goes in with documentation showing you the real deal behind the C hip and the snake venom and the jump shot. And that's why he can't he can't do anything on a lot of these uh, different pages, these different platforms, because he's telling the truth. So, watch this, and come back and see me. If if you can get in contact with Captain Tazariak or General Johanna, tell them to watch this. Mainly Captain Tazariak, because we trying to pull him out the fire, but he loved the fire. Hey, GMS was always right. We was right on the Cornelius thing. We're going to be right on the Karagma thing. Anyway, let me pull out some of these precepts here. Zechariah 13, verse 4. And it shall come to pass in that day that the prophets shall be ashamed. What prophets are going to be ashamed? The false prophets. You teaching that the MOTB is Christianity and an embargo and the image is a picture, Caesar Borgia. You're a false prophet. Every one of his vision, when he hath prophesied, neither shall they wear a rough garment to deceive. Fifth verse. But he shall say, I am no prophet. I am an husbandman. I'm a farmer. For man taught me to keep cattle from my youth. Oh, and by the way, you have Amos, which was a farmer. You have Elisha, which he was a farmer when he was called by Elijah, by the Most High, by way of Elijah. He was farming. Sixth verse, and one shall say unto him, what are the wounds in thy hands? Then he shall answer, those which I was wounded in the house of my friends. Awake, O sword, against my shepherd and against the man that is my fellow, saith the Lord Yahweh of hosts. Smite the shepherd, and the sheep shall be scattered, and I will turn mine hand upon the little ones. Now, what comes to mind is the so-called God-sent comforter, Tazadakia. When he transitioned, you don't really hear anything about the ICGJC. Matter of fact, if you go to their main page, you have to sign up to go on their page. So you got to give your information. It's basically a church right now. Ain't no spirit. The spirit is not dealing with the ICGJC at all, period. I don't care that High Priest Ariah is there, which I believe he's a prophet that the Most High will raise back up, but we'll see. We'll see. And High Priest Shaw. I don't know if there's any others of them that are part of the elect, but we'll see. The angel protested against Joshua the high priest because of his filthy garments. Matter of fact, let me get that. Let's see if it come up, these two words. Okay, let me do this. Now, we were taught that high priest Ariel was Joshua the high priest, and he was the second in command under Zerubbabel, which Zerubbabel was he was the governor of Babylon under the Babylonian captivity going into the the Persian Medo-Persian Empire. He was living during that time, and during the rebuilding of the temple from the order of Cyrus or Karash, which means chosen. They were given the finances to rebuild the temple that the Babylonians and the Edomites burned down. It was the Edomites. That's in the Apocrypha. That's in First Ezra's. I believe it's the fourth chapter. I hadn't gone through it in a while. One day I'll do a lesson on that. And he showed me Joshua the high priest standing before the angel of Yahweh, and Satan standing at his right hand to resist him. And Yahweh said unto Satan, Yahweh rebuke thee, O Satan, O adversary, even Yahweh that have chosen Jerusalem. Jerusalem is a people before it's a place. So at the end of the day, when everything's said and done, Most High is only dealing with the nation of Israel. They're going to be lifted up. And they're his people. They're his chosen people, not the body of believers, as Vocab Malone says. Those other nations are going to be our slaves, and they're going to learn the laws. So that's going to be a good thing for them. It says, rebuke thee, is not this a brand plucked out of the fire? If something catches on fire, right, let's say there's a valuable in there, you pluck it out before it gets burnt. So the Most High likens Joshua as a brand plucked out of the fire, saved, delivered. So we're gonna see what's gonna happen. Is the Most High gonna rejuvenate High Priest Ariel? Is he gonna die on this side? Is he dead now? Is he gonna be raised up, with the rest of them when the ships come? We don't know. Most High didn't give us this information. Now Joshua, or Yahushai, was clothed with filthy garments and stood before the angel. So what does garments represent? What does nakedness represent in scriptures? It said that the children of Israel, led by Aaron, it said that they were naked. What did it mean that by they were naked? They were committing sin. It says, now Joshua was clothed with filthy garments and stood before the angel. And because our priest Ariel said, I'm so glad the comforter is finally here. And guess what? The so-called comforter is dead. It said the comforter would be with you always. That nigga ain't nowhere to be seen. He's in the spiritual realm. But he's good right now. He's going to come back humble. He's going to have his head down because he's an Israelite. Fourth verse, and he answered and spake unto those that stood before him, saying, take away the filthy garment from him. And unto him he said, behold, I have caused thine iniquity to be passed from thee. Meaning you're going to be pardoned of your iniquities. And I will clothe thee with change of garments. You're going to get clean garments. You're going to get the right truth. See, a lot of you Israelite camps, you have filthy, you have you have spots in your garments. That's in Jude, which is one chapter long. You have spots in your garments. There are spots in your feast. So you have spots in your garments. So you don't have clean garments. And you have naked. Any of you guys that are teaching that the MOTB is something other than what GMS is teaching, because we're teaching it the right way, pursuant to the power of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. We got it right. So for you to go to another way means that you have filthy garments, you're partial naked, and you're not men of the Lord, you're not prophets. It says, I have caused thine iniquity to pass from thee, and I will close thee with chains of remnant. And I said, let them set a fair michi upon his head. High priest Ariel always wore a michi. He was known for wearing a michi, which is a turban. So they set a fair michi, a beautiful michi, a clean michi upon his head, and clothes him with garments, with clean garments, righteous garments, white garments. And the angel of the Lord stood by, and the angel of the Lord Yahweh protested unto Joshua, saying, thus saith Yahweh of hosts, if thou wilt walk in my ways, and if thou wilt keep my charge, then thou shalt also judge my house, which are Israelites. These shall listed on 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel, and shall also keep my courts, and I will give thee place to walk among these that stand by. I'm not going to read anymore. And a lot of you guys, you watch our videos. You other camps that came out, not from One West, you watch YouTube videos and you were out of order. You did your own thing. You said, I don't need to go up under them guys. I can do my own thing. Let me just put a sign up. And a lot of you guys don't understand. Hey, I'm going to say this. You got the YFI individuals, since they're so deep in the scriptures, if you have any problems, just go right to them. Ask them, what does this scripture mean? What does that breakdown mean? And if they answer any of the breakdowns correctly, you break them down correctly, who you think they got them from? They got them from us. It says, Zechariah 13, verse 4 again, and it shall come to pass in that day that the prophet shall be ashamed every one of his vision when he hath prophesied, neither shall they wear a rough garment to deceive. This is what I want to do. I want to go to the NLT. On that day, people will be ashamed to claim the prophetic gift. No one will pretend to be a prophet by wearing prophet's clothing. So this, the NLT is saying that you ain't gonna pretend. So a lot of these guys are pretend prophets. And then some of them could be actually of the chosen. That's gonna be led in the right way. There's a reason why GMS says we have 100% truth, because we do. We understand all the scriptures. Now, no other camp can really say that. That's why these guys got all emotional. They got their panties in a bunch over the grape doctrine, even to this day. Now, let me come over here. And you guys are new. All you guys are new. If you're not part of the One West crew and you started a camp in 2018 or whatever, you've been out there for maybe 3-4 years, maybe even not even that long, you're novices. This is what the scriptures say about a novice. Let me jump up a verse. And you got to be an idiot to 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 now bring out Ecclesiastes 27:1 and 2 to say that that's talking about the charagma. That's fucking stupid. That's stupid, man. Absolute stupidity. Okay, it goes into the requirements of being overseer, deacon. It says not a novice, not somebody that's new, lest being lifted up with pride, he fall into the condemnation of the devil. Proverbs 23, verse 8, the morsel which thou hast eaten shalt thou vomit up and lose thy sweet words. What does that mean? Whatever you got from following different guys, like dealing with the charagma, the mark, you're teaching that it means this, it means that, it means it means sin. It doesn't mean sin, although it does not mean sin. If you commit sin, that means you got the charagma. No, that's stupid. That's stupidity. Because like we've been asking this question, if people the mark has to be all around us, right? Because Christianity is here. You got people that are into Christianity as opposed to being Muslims and Israelites or whatever, black consciousness. So, oh, wait a minute, the black conscious crowd, do they have the mark? Because they don't follow Christianity. They totally against Christianity. So do they have it? That means they're gonna be saved. So none of them gonna be saved because they don't got the mark. But the question is, if the mark is Christianity or sin, how are you able to buy? Because Bishop Nathaniel, he can go to the store and he can buy stuff. If he got a car, he can sell his car. He can sell certain things on the different platforms, eBay or whatever. So he can buy and he can sell. Bishop Nathaniel's not in no house with supplies to last him for the next 10 years. He got to do just like he got to do what we do, like everybody else. He got to go out and shop for food, shop for clothes, put gas in the car, pay the bills. That's dealing with buying and selling. So how can you do that if you don't have the mark and the mark is already here? You see how stupid that sounds? But we're really not getting on you. We're doing it for the others. So when they come across these videos, they can see not to go to you guys. You guys are nothing but stumbling blocks. Oh, the biggest stumbling block out there is General Yohana, because he said, go ahead and take it. That's what he said. I got it on. You can't say he never said it because I got the videos. I recorded all his videos that he did when he made that bold statement. Go ahead and take it. Like I said, please watch this video. Please watch this video on Odyssey. The globalist sea power grab is now officially dead. And Alex Jones, our glorious leader, Alex Jones, he goes in with documentation. And besides, Alex Jones is a Gadite. That's for Captain Tazariak. Can you follow the Edomite? No, Alex Jones is a Gadite. He's a Gadite. The morsel, like you watch the videos, you learned a few scriptures, you memorized a few scriptures, you got it one morning and said, "Oh, I think I'll be a prophet. Let me make a sign and give me a T-shirt and put fringes on it, and then go out there and teach. And get a bunch of about 4 or 5 dummies to read for me." And you know how we knew that guys that had their own camps, you know what they used to do? Now, we used to have Passovers, right? And we used to rent like the different venues. And we would always have 3 or 4 or even 5 different camps that they go out there and teach. They say, "Can I come to your Passover?" So my thing is, well, wait a minute, man. If you guys are teachers, why you got to come to our Passover? Why don't you have your own Passover? So eventually what I did was I said, we're not going to have these big Passovers. Did Yahweh Shai have, they say you got to have a big Passover in a hotel. Well, did Yahweh Shai gather a whole bunch of people that have come to Yahweh Shai's Passover? We got food, we got drink, and we got entertainment. No, Yahweh Shai just got with the 12 at that time, and they had the Passover. And that was it. So these guys were forced, since they were leaders of the various camps, they were forced to know how to do this. So they would say, "Well, how do we do the Passover?" All right. It says, like, let me say this. These new guys that just popped on the scene, if we never mentioned anything about the Passover, we just was out there teaching, and we never mentioned anything about high holy days or the Passover, they wouldn't keep the Passover. They keep the Passover because they're following us, the men at the former One Westers. You could go on back to Bishop Nathaniel. He's teaching some madness that the new moon is on the full moon. That's complete madness. A Bible scholar would laugh. Bible scholars would laugh that guy to scorn. That's complete madness, and that's easy to break down. Proverbs 23, verse 8, the morsel which thou hast eaten. Now, if you ate that morsel from the IUIC and you break off and do your own thing, you're going to teach the same thing. These guys that have there's certain groups that broke off of IUIC, you know what they say? They'll still say Christ, Most High, and Christ bless. They'll still go by the new moon as a full moon. So you broke off, but you still have the same doctrine that you came up under. So how have you grown? The morsel which the 3 scriptures that you learned, which thou hast eaten, shalt thou vomit up and lose thy sweet words. So you're going to vomit up that charagma thing. When they set up them stations, it's going to be real out here. And a lot of you are going to be put to death. If you refuse to take it, pursuant to Revelation 20, verse 4, you're going to be put to death. You see, that's hate, brother. You saying if you do this, you're going to be put. Yes, we're saying that. That if you want to take it as hate, you take it as hate. If you take that charagma, if you take that sticky wicky, you're going to die. You know, like the priest Zabak said, well, so you can take it, because now they're saying you can. Now they're saying it's because they see it. They see it. You know, we said it back when you didn't see it. It says Proverbs 25, verse 16, "Hast thou found honey, which is the truth, which is the scriptures, eat." See, when y'all came across the different YouTube videos, you saw the various brothers of One West And you hold on, this is good. When they gonna have the next video? When they gonna put the next video up? And you keep watching videos, and then you memorize certain scriptures. And then instead of saying, well, I learned this from IUIC, let's find out if there's a branch where I live, or if I got to take an hour drive to get there. No, you just say, you know what? I'm going to be my own high priest. It says, hast thou found honey? Eat so much as is sufficient for thee, lest thou be filled therein and vomit it back up. Meaning you got a lot of these guys that are novices, they try to jam in their spirit a whole lot of scriptures in very little time, and they have no experiences. And so that's why, and then the scriptures speak about being rooted. In Colossians, Paul spoke about that. A lot of you guys are not rooted. When hell comes upon you, and we're tested, like I said, the charagma is the ultimate test. If you take that C hip, you are going to die. It says, Isaiah 28, verse 8, for all tables are full of vomit and filthiness, so that there is no place clean. What does that mean? You got guys breaking down the scriptures wrong, and you got people blindly following these guys. So that's not a clean doctrine. That's an adulterated doctrine. That's a filthy doctrine. That's a doctrine with spots in it. Go back to the book of Jude. They are spots in our feasts, in our festivals, in our high holy days. Now you had what, 6 guys, 5, 6 guys leave right at the turn of the new year. And the 22 going into 23, had a handful of guys just fall out. You know, one guy said, well, when Brother Polite rolled up on the elders, or we elders at that time, they should have answered the question a different way. What kind of way? How should we have answered it? The man asked us a question. We gave him the honest truth. Give me a second. Oh, dudes fall off too, and women. 2 Peter 2, verse 22. But it has happened unto them according to the true proverb: the dog is turned to his own vomit again, and the sow that was washed to a wallowing in the mire. Let me come to 20. Really, you should read the whole chapter. This whole chapter is dynamite, as Yaikwa would say. For if after they have escaped the pollution in the world through the knowledge of the Lord Yahweh Shai HaMashiach, they are again entangled therein and overcome. The latter end is worse with them than the beginning. You 5 or 6 guys that left GMS. May the Most High have mercy on your souls. 21st verse. For it had been better for them not to have known the way of righteousness than after they have known it to turn from the holy commandment delivered unto them. But it has happened unto them according to the true proverb, the dog is turned to his own vomit again, and the sow that was washed to her wallowing in the mire. Now, this is what Matthew 7 when it speaks about cast not thy pearl before swine, neither give that which is holy unto dogs, because they're going to trample on what you give them and they're going to come after you. And that's what most of them do. As soon as they break off, what do? They come against you. They don't get on Esau no more. They get on the camp. If they was in GMS, all their videos is going to be against GMS. Tunnel vision on GMS. Not a word on Esau. They ain't got nothing bad to say about Esau. They ain't got nothing bad to say about the spiritual demon Satan. They ain't got nothing bad to say about IUIC or the IUC. Their focus is on GMS. According to them, GMS is the devil. They like Bobby Boucher's mother. They the devil, if you know what I'm talking about. Oh, Bobby Boucher's mother. Let me see here. Okay, you know what I'm gonna do? Let me do this. Oh, this is what I wanted to do. This is for Rev 13:16, right? It says a mark, the word for mark is not the same as in Galatians 6:17. And by the way, you guys, you go through the word mark in a note. So see, in the Old Testament says this, and New Testament says that you got to go to the root of the word. Are you familiar with the term etymology? The root of a word. Where did the word come from? Where did the word stem from? To show you that based upon the statement, let me do this again. It says a mark. The word for mark is not the same as in Galatians 6:17, but the images as there that of the brand put upon slaves to identify them. Pagan devotees sometimes receive such a brand as a physical thing, making them as the property of their God or of the king. In the so-called third book of Maccabees, which, stupid as it is, has perhaps some historical foundation, we are told that Ptolemy Philopator ordered the Israelites of Alexandria to be branded with an ivy leaf. What does the word branded mean? Like if you was a farmer, you had cattle, you would brand your cattle in case it went over to the other farm and another farmer claims, oh, that's my cattle. And you say, oh, nope, my brand, see that brand, that's my cattle. That's what the branding was all about. So this charagma is nothing but an electronic brand. Everything is going to be, they're going to do away with the paper money. And it closing down. It's just in the news the other day. Earlier today, I would say, or yesterday. that they're closing down a bunch of ATM machines. You see all this rise and people, there's a big problem with people going in the stores and just blatantly stealing shit and running. That's all set up. What they're gonna do, they're gonna have everything locked down in the stores, and you're gonna need a QR code. Like if you want to get a soda, you want those ice boxes or whatever, freezers. And there was a video on it. If anybody knows who the video is, please put it in the comment section. Where you need a QR code to open the box, and then it records. If you take 5 sodas, you can take as many sodas as you want, but it's going to be deducted out of your. Everything is going to be. This is going to be like a foolproof system where you're going to go in the supermarkets and there's no checkout. You just pick up the shit, and it picks up the QR code on your smartphone, and you just walk out the store, and then when you check your account, it's going to be deducted. If you spend $50, $50 will be deducted from your account. I have this one card. It's a debit card, prepaid debit card, in case they say, well, we don't accept cash. So I pull out that card. And what happens is, as soon as I pay for something, I get a message on my smartphone saying $50 was deducted from your account. And then now if you said, well, no, what you mean? Then you call them and they'll track it down and they'll find out somebody got your number. But you scan everything out, and as soon as I leave, I'll look at my phone and it'll say $50 was deducted from your account. And let's say, yep. I'll tell you what store, it'll give you the time. And then you say, yep, it confirmed it. So everything is going to be a digital. And like I said, to give you an idea, there's a video on it. Well, when you go into these various different stores, everything is going to be locked down. Like if you want to get a tub of ice cream or whatever, or a steak, everything's going to be locked down. So you can open it up, open up that glass thing, or however it's going to work. Or you can just have everything set up, but everything is going to be set up in your account. So that's going to do away with anybody stealing anything. And then eventually, unless you wait outside, and that's what's going to happen too. When people do get that charagma, when they do away with cash, and people that are not a part of the system, they're going to be left out. You know what they're going to be doing? They're going to be jumping people, not for the money in their pocket or their gold. They're going to be jumping people for their groceries. They say, give me that bag. Give me that bag, nigga. They might beat your ass up and take your groceries, man, so they can eat. They should be like madmen, sparing none. Oh, it's going to get bad out here. The time of Jacob's trouble. So anyway, let's go into it. Let's go to Galatians 6 and 7. From henceforth, let no man trouble me, for I bear, this is Paul speaking, in my body the marks of the Lord. And we're going to find out what the marks are. Brethren, the grace of our Lord Yahushua be with your spirit, so be it. When I see amen, I said, so be it. So now let me look at the word marks. And the word mark is stigma, where you get the word stigmata, to stick, a prick, which is different from the word charagma. And it's only mentioned here one time, Galatians. And that stigma that was put on him was Matter of fact, you know what I'm doing? Let me do this. Let me do this. I just want to check something out. A stigma is you live in the projects and there's this chick, there's a new dude that moved the projects and he get with this chick and dude telling you, oh, that's the biggest hole in the projects. That's the biggest hole in the project. That means you put a stigmata on her. She might not know people are talking behind her back. That's a stigma. So it's spiritual. So that's why. So this right here proves, go back to here, that the actual charagma is not a stigma. Like if you known for stealing shit, right? You go to the grocery store, they got you on camera. You done been in there 5 times. The people that own the grocery store management, when you come in, they already know who you are. And as soon as you come in, they might grab you up. They might call the police on you. The po-po. So this word, so you can't go into the word mark and say, see, Mark is in Romans 16, 17, Mark is in Revelation, so it all means the same thing. In the Old Testament, Ezekiel 9, Mark, no, there's different meanings. That's why you have to know, have to have understanding of Hebrew and Greek. So they're telling you right here. It's a spiritual thing. Somebody's talking about you, and then somebody say, you know, motherfuckers are saying that you a hoe, and so you find out that there's a stigma on you. So they break it down to you as to what that mark means. It means a brand. It's a physical thing. It's a physical thing. So anyway, let's go over here. We're going to end it. And this conversation keeps coming up. And we're not doing it for y'all that in the hope that you might get it, because you ain't going to get it. Because if you was to get it, you would have got it already. And see, when you buck up against us, you're bucking up against the apostles' doctrine. And when you buck up against us, you're not fighting against us. You're fighting against the Most High. Read Acts, the 5th chapter, 38 verse on down. We're teaching the truth. We're breaking the scriptures down the right way. And you're putting up a stumbling block for the people. And the Most High is going to destroy you for that. And the ones that follow you, if they go ahead and they take the charagma, because they say, well, the MOTB is a spiritual thing, so I can take this physical thing because I got to eat and my kids got to eat. Well, you and your kids are going to die. Where did I say I was going to go? Oh, yeah, I said I was going to go to Sirach 27. So you got to be a fucking idiot. Well, you're not spiritually deep any daggone way. Ecclesiasticus or Sirach 27. Oh, and all y'all dudes have the Apocrypha. So you're gonna tell me, yeah, the Spirit came to me, and the Spirit showed me how to go out there and teach. He gave me the Bible. He also gave me the Apocrypha. You read out of the Apocrypha because you watch us from One West go into the Apocrypha. What's that? What's that? That's the Apocrypha. We started reading stuff out of the Apocrypha. We break down what the Apocrypha is all about. That is originally part of the Bible. And then you start reading the Apocrypha. So you're trying to be slick. Let me show you that you're a dumbass. Ecclesiasticus 27, verse 1 and 2. Many have sinned. Now they're saying that taking the charagma is sin. But like I said, the question remains, and this is what we're going to ask you from now on. Is the MOTB here? Yes, it is. Do people got the MOTB? Yes. What people got this MOTB? People that are Christians. Okay, what about Arabs? Do Arabs have the MOTB? You kind of stump them. I don't know what they're going to say on that one. Yes, there's Arabs too, because it's ultimately it's sin. So my question is this: what does it mean by buying and selling? Well, it's a spiritual buying. Nope. When you look it up, Revelation 13, it means to actually make a transaction, buying and selling. One of the meanings is the word buy, is the word agora. The root goes into the word agora, which means the marketplace. Then the mall, so you can understand, or the business district. So let me read this again. I'm going to close. Many have sinned for a small matter, and he that seeketh for abundance will turn his eye away. Meaning, a lot of people became rich by ripping people off. As a nail stick fast between the joints of the stone. And by the way, the nail is a palisade, which in the Greek is karax. Or charagma, which goes into the word karax. As a nail sticketh fast between the joints of the stones, so doeth sin sticketh close between buying and selling. See, brothers, that's the MOTB. Sin sticketh between buying and selling, and the sin is the MOTB. No, you dumbass. Well, I'm gonna tell you what this means. As a nail sticketh fast between the joints of the stones, so doeth sin sticketh close to between buying and selling. If you sell, people that sell cars, right? There's a thing called a lemon. That's why they have a lemon law in certain states, where if the car is I don't know if it's 3,000, 1,500 or whatever, that the car, you have to disclose that this car needs a new transmission, and this car needs a new alternator, and this car needs this, and it has an electric problem. If you got a car with an electric problem and you can't figure out what the electrical problem is, the car still run, but every once in a while it act up. I know because I purchased a car that had an electrical problem that they couldn't fix, but I took it to my mechanic and he fixed it for next to nothing. The next day, here, come get your car and fix the electrical problem, which these other people couldn't fix. So they sold it to me, and I didn't know because I started the car up, everything worked. But then a couple of days afterwards, it started acting up. So my mechanic says electrical problem. He said, let me check it out. Like I said, he fixed it 1, 2, 3. So they knew that it was an electrical problem. So they said, no, the car is good, everything works. They know that there's an electrical problem, right? Or they could have put some, like if the engine is knocking, a way you stop the knocking in the engine in order for you to sell the car is you put a bottle of thick oil, which they have a thing called Lucas oil. And I did this on a car that had one of my engines seized on me, right? So I called my cousin Johanna, and he said, just put some oil in the thing and and I had maybe 2 bottles of oil, and I had a bottle of transmission. He said, put that in, put the transmission fluid in there and leave it overnight, and then started the next morning. I started the next morning, it started, but it was knocking hard. So what I did was I got some the thick oil, and I put it in there, and the knocking stopped. Now you know when the knocking came back in, when I changed the oil. As soon as I changed the oil, I put regular oil in, the knocking came back. So that's another way you can sell a car. You can put the thick oil in there, Person's driving it around for 3 months. Then he changes the oil and it knocks. Then he goes, you gave me a bet. I said, nah, you had the car for 3 months. You should have known. Nah. So that's a trick that they use. You might have one of the cylinders might be missing, misfiring. So what you do is you find out which one is misfiring. You take the plug out and you put an oil burning plug in there, and it doesn't misfire no more until you take that oil burning plug out. Then you get the misfire again. See, there's tricks to this thing. So I'm using the example of a car. So when people sell a car, they're not going to tell you, they're going to tell you, oh no, everything's good. They'll do the temporary fix on it. That's what that means for you clowns out there. When you're selling something, you ain't disclosing what's wrong with the car. And what they want you to do is, if on a contract, they say, well, you're going to buy this car as is. You know what that means by as is? Meaning if there's any problems on the car, it's on you. So you gotta say, no, I'm not gonna buy it under those. I'm gonna buy it under the fact that you say everything's works under the lemon law. Something goes wrong with the car, you say something wrong with the car, they say it's not my problem. You take it to court, and you watch the different court shows. You Jakes like to watch some court shows. Many times, a woman, a dumbass black woman, she'll buy a car from some Ephraimite or some Arab or something. And Edomites are pretty much, they're kind of honest because they get sued so much. So she'll come in like an Edomite. See, he sold me a messed up car and the car didn't work and I was gypped. And so the guy said, well, look, Judge, it says as is. So the judge looked at it and said, did you realize it says as is? Do you know what that means? That means if it's got any problems, that's on you. Yeah, but he didn't tell me. He wasn't supposed to tell you. He said as is. Sometimes I'll buy cars that have problems with it and I'll fix the problems. I'll know what the problem is and I'll fix the problem. I'll say, okay, it's going to cost $200 to fix it, but I got a good car now. So that's what that means for you clowns out there. This has nothing to do with the charagma. You're trying to be slick, and you ain't slick. You ain't slick, all right? Anyway, with that, I'm going to say shalom. On to the next one. Shalom.